keep my hands to myself. Think I'll dust them off, put them back up on the shelf. Kiss my little baby girl isn't me. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Let me kick it like it's 1986 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. I can feel it still.
You finally found the most generic live show. This is the Generic Live Show. Oh, what? The Generic Live Show. Oh, a butterfly. Just flew past my window. Alright, hey everyone, welcome to the Generic Live Show. It's hour 2 of the Generic Live Show. It's a pleasure to be here, as per always. We're doing it for Geeko. My name's Dale Campbell. You finally found the most generic live show on the internet with your host, Dale Campbell. We're doing it for Geeko. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday. It's a pleasure to be here. You know, why not? We're having a fun show so far. We did launch the new hit show, one time only. Hit show, Accidental Comedian Making Coffee. It went off like a hit, actually. I quite enjoyed that, and I quite enjoyed people's response to that. It was quite a fun experiment, and I was happy to bring it to you. So we got more of that happening soon. You can let us know what we should do next. Do you think we should go do you think we should do more? Let us know. show@geek-io.net if you want more of stuff like that in the future. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Hour 2. So, in hour 1 I did mention, towards the end of hour 1 I mentioned a book that I got some inspiration, financial advice from. The book is from Scott Pape, and it's called Barefoot Investor. I want to get up. Hashtag not sponsored. Please sponsor us. Barefoot Investor. I have a couple of questions for this guy. Scott, if you're watching, because I know you are, because everyone watches this show. I love your book, dude. Not sponsored, but I do want to get a real opinion on financial stuff. I suppose I could probably reach out to this guy and get him on the show, because it would be very interesting to sit down and have an interview with him and talk all things money and have a financial show with him, because finances are something that I'm interested in. You know, why not? Alright, so, apart from my pink shirt being fabulous, and matching my pink headphones today, actually. I'm all matching. All natural. Hang on, I need to... Excuse me. I'm still coming off a 24-hour flu 2 days ago, so enjoy that for what you will. That's why my voice is getting hoarse. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is getting hoarse. But I still have to do a show, so, you know, I'm still here doing a show for you. It's probably boring, but anyway, we'll get there. Meanwhile, state's troubled recycling system gets a $37 million rescue package. There you go. Victoria's Beluge recycling system has a $37 million lifetime aimed at cutting the amount of recyclable material that lands up in landfill and turning more of the state's waste into commercial products. It hoped the plan announced by the Andrews government on Tuesday would reinvigorate the local recycling system. I think this was last week. Again, another last week story. It was July 2nd. Will invigorate the local recycling system, which falls decline after Australia began to slip most of its recycling material to China. Look at that field of rubbish. Sorry, recycling. Excuse me. Each year, China imposed stricter elimination thresholds of the tens of millions of tons of imported recyclings, sending shudders through the globe, all recycling networks. In Victoria, China's decisions contributed to the creation of hundreds of hazardous stockpiles of unwanted material that leads fears of tons of recyclables being ultimately dumped in landfill. In response, the Victorian government has agreed to become one of the state's industry's major customers and will push states, departments, and agencies to produce more recycled products. It will also seek to address the problem of households inadvertently contaminating council recycled collectibles through a new educational program to help people better understand what can and cannot be recycled. It hopes that the campaign will prevent 40,000 tonnes of recyclables a year going to landfill. Victoria's Environmental Minister Lily Damasabro, that's her name. As you can clearly see, that is her name. Said the government was delivering a new plan for the recycling industry that would reduce the waste and build a more alignment system. Look at that forklift with cardboard bales on it. And lots of seagulls getting all up in the recycling. Hey, Australia's recycling explained. So let's watch this 3-minute. Let's watch this video. Why not? This video, excuse me. If it'll play. And play. And play. It's a blank screen.
For a really long time, they've been taking paper, glass.
Seems to be audio only. Fantastic.
In Australia's addiction to cheap trash. The Chinese have been doing us a big favour for a really long time. They've been taking huge amounts of our contaminated recycling. They've even been paying us for it. But this year, in January, the Chinese government said, no more. No more foreign garbage. That's left Australia's recycling with nowhere to go. Your paper, your plastic, your glass.
So it's no foreign.
Piling up on Australia's recycling sites all across the country.
So it's no foreign recycling at all. Huh. This music,
let's
though.
say you've finished your 2-litre bottle of milk. You've rinsed it out, you've taken off the non-recyclable cap, and you've popped it in your yellow bin. What happens? First of all, a garbage collector, paid for by the council, will come and pick it up. They then take it to a recycling facility. Now, these recycling facilities, they're not recyclers in the way that you and I might think of them. They're more sorters. So they'll take the recycling, they'll get rid of the contamination, which is sort of the food scraps and non-recyclable plastics, and then they'll sort it into different streams. So you have your plastic, your paper, your glass. Then they try and sell those raw products to local factories. So glass will go to a glass manufacturer who's making new bottles. That works nicely, right? We've got what's called a circular economy going on.
Ooh.
Well, it was working well until about 2011, when the Chinese, fueled by their economy's extraordinary growth, decided they needed more and more of our product. They needed the plastic, they needed the glass, so they started paying us more and more for it. Eventually, these recycling companies realised that it was much cheaper, much more cost-effective to just put it on a boat and send it to China, where people, children, were in the streets literally sorting our garbage. It was bad for the kids, bad for the environment, generally a bad look for a country that wants to be a global superpower. So, late last year, the Chinese government said, no more. No more of this contaminated foreign garbage. The other reason they want to do this is so they can bolster their own domestic recycling sector. By blocking imports, it forces local Chinese factories to pay more for local recycling. That encourages local Chinese to clean up their own act, stop sending so much of their waste off to landfill and become recyclers, a bit like Australia. It's good for China's environment, probably good for their society, not so good for Australia's environment. Back home, we've got a few options to deal with this crisis. Unfortunately, all of them come with a price tag. One, we could reduce the contamination in our recycling. We'd clean it up. China will still take our plastics and paper and glass as long as we can get rid of a lot of that rubbish that we put in our yellow bins along with them. Unfortunately, doing that requires new machinery and new plants. Really expensive, somebody's got to pay. Option 2, we burn it.
Taxpayers.
Wants to build power plants where you can just shovel the recycling in, light it on fire, and generate electricity. Sounds like a good idea, but really expensive, and also probably would struggle to get community support.
Right.
More support though than the third option, which is just to stick it in a landfill.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Quit an addiction cold turkey, and it looks like Australia's addiction to cheap trash is going to be very expensive to solve.
Yeah, okay. So again, 3 options there. That was a really good, informative bit of audio. So again, the main option is to scrap it entirely and move it to landfill. Build power plants and provide more electricity, and you increase demand, and then the price of electricity decreases. Ooh. I don't like the way that, and not that we'll see any of it because we only have one power company. Ooh. I don't know what that voice is, but yeah, there's that option as well. There's the option of again, just keep sending it to China, sort it and send it. # sort and send. But we're using the recycling that we have to build projects as well, and like I think again, option 2 is going to be very expensive, but I think option 2 is probably the better of the options to at this stage probably see the light of day. Is option 2, which is was it option 2 or option 1? Is to keep recycling up and just pay for it. And hey, well, we pay already for well, I don't, because I don't pay council rates, but the royal we pay already for the employees. Just that'll have to bump up our council rates. But again, I'm a fan of more electricity, so the more supply, the lower the demand. But again, that's not great for the environment, and we need to nurture the environment some more. So, you know, again, not great for the environment, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. We got a lot of stuff to sort out. Speaking of a lot of stuff to sort out, Australia has to explain itself for this one. Basketball Australia condemns huge brawl that erupts in Aussie game against the Philippines. Australia and the Philippine players and officials are facing long suspensions and potentially life bans in an all-in brawl that has shocked the basketball world. FIBA has opened an investigation into a violent scenes that married last night's World Cup qualifier in the Philippines. Philippines getting a lot of press lately. Basketball CEO Anthony Moore has warned that the sport's global governing body is in quote-unquote new territory as it prepares to sift through incredible footage of dozens of players and officials and even fan trading blows. There's a video here. I just know there's a video to be watched here somewhere before we continue reading. Oh yeah, there is. This 2-minute and 52-second video. Let's see what this is about.
Australia was 31 points up when the World Cup qualifier descended into a street fight.
It's all happening now.
Oh, Jesus.
And this has got wild in the Philippines. Out of control in the Philippines.
Oof.
Punches, kicks.
Let's move.
It's all happening now. And this has got wild
Oof.
in the Philippines. Out of control in the Philippines. Punches.
Oh,
kicks,
wow.
Fans. The bench is cleared. Well, these are sad.
Oh my God.
Disgraceful, deplorable, abhorrent scenes in the Philippines.
This is what sparked it, an offensive foul on Aussie Chris Goulding and a cheap shot from Daniel Kickett, who came out swinging to defend his teammate.
It's
Oh.
a challenging one to defend because it was an unsavoury act.
An elbow that led to a punch, Filipino player Jason William smacking him in the head, and then it was on. Each man for himself in what can only be described as coward attacks, elbows, fly kicks, fists to the head.
But look at that. From Romeo,
Oof.
a punch to the back of the head of a man not even looking at him.
Nathan Sobey
Yeah.
copped a chair to the head, then a hit from an official while being held by security.
Nathan Sobey has been assaulted. Are you kidding me?
I'd be disappointed if there was anything lighter than a life ban for any official that assaulted any of our guys.
Chris Goulding shielded his head as he was stomped on, kicked and punched by a pack of players and officials on the floor.
It was absolutely alarming to think that one of our players is surrounded by about 20 people with a significant amount of physical altercations occurring.
NBA champion Luke Longley is being credited with saving his life, rushing in to pry the players off. The Philippine coach claims the Aussies started the ugly scenes before the game even began.
The reality is Kicker was hitting our players during the warm-ups.
We absolutely refute that.
As officials decided whether the game should be abandoned, the home side took selfies.
I found that very strange.
The International Basketball Federation will
That's
convene
weird.
a tribunal involving all players to determine what sanctions are handed down. Basketball Australia has briefed its lawyers on possible criminal charges down the track.
Well, I think Kickett will get 6 to 8 games, I would have thought. I'm not sure that any other Australians will get too much. I think they were defending themselves in a really difficult situation.
Our players fly out tonight.
Physically, our players are fine. They're bruised and battered. We don't have any breaks.
Damage to the game's reputation, however, has already been done. Sophie Walsh, 9 News.
Oof, that's a lot. Oh boy. All right. Well, hey, the tone of the show's gone down. That's for damn sure. But that's a lot. Like, okay. Holistically, I would like to imagine that violence is not necessary in any context at all, regardless of what you might think. Like, that is, violence against anyone is unacceptable. And definitely, I am a big advocate of violence against women, but again, violence against anyone is definitely untoward, no matter what the situation is. And this is very bad sportsmanship on everyone's part. And I think it's something that is... I can't describe this at all. And again, I agree, the weird part is that they were taking selfies right after the fact, which is really weird to me. Like, that is definitely a very strange part of all of this. Was that, let's have this massive brawl, all the Australians on the fence. Selfie! Oh my god, Stacey, yes! Like, that's just a weird concept to me. But, yeah, like, of course Australians will defend this until the cows come home. But at the end of the day, I think the main important thing is that we understand that we're also guilty in a lot of this, if that makes sense. Like, as long as we're aware that we definitely threw some punches. That's definitely a thing that happened. So we're not, as long as we're coming out completely innocent in all of this. I wish Raul Gaza, the international the Derek Live Show sports coordinator or correspondent was live with me right now, because I definitely ask him some sports ball questions that I don't want to say out loud because I might offend some people. But my big thing, you're looking at this from just a news perspective, like, how? Like, not why, but how? And it was a foul play that was made against him, and yes, these sort of brawls erupt out, particularly in the footballs, not necessarily the basketballs. So we'll continue reading this this article here. The fact that the Filipino bench players rushed in to join the chaos while Australia retained themselves won't help the case when disciplinary proceedings begin. That's true. Oh, and also, I don't know if this article lays this out, but also the fact that a Thailand official jumped in on the action as well, boy, that does not help the case, like, at all. The fact that a Thai official punched a player in the face. Dude, that is a lot. Oh yeah, this picture right here doesn't help their case, like, at all. You know. Man, it would be great to get a second monitor so I don't have to constantly zoom out. Yeah, this picture right here definitely doesn't help their case at all. And this picture of the Thai official going at the Australian, particularly when security is there. Like, that's also the big thing. Security was there and trying to defuse the situation anyway. Ugh. Mr. Moore said that and this part too. Them taking selfies afterwards. It's just so weird. Both Australia and the Philippines are both through to the second round of the 2019 World Cup qualifiers, but won't face each other. This again, despite being in the same group. The Philippines went through. Australia went through. I would have banned both of them. I would have went, yeah, girl, you guys sort yourselves out. We don't want anything to do with this. The fact that they went through too is a little bit much. National Basketball League Executive Champion Larry Kestelman condemned the behaviour of players, officials and fans and called the FIBA to come down hard on those involved. So this is disgraceful behaviour that needs to be dealt with by the FIBA in the strongest possible manner and await an outcome of their investigation, Mr. Kestelman said. Odd chair being in the back of the head. This is like despicable behaviour, and the fact that this was the #1 video trending on YouTube and people liking the video a lot and commenting yay is a condemning thing of human society these days. And oh my god, of course we're going there in 2018. Although I just spent the last 15 minutes talking about this, so I'm not much help. But I'm doing the news, like, that's not there. Like, I'm condemning this behaviour, but people were excited for this, which is kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. Let's move on to something that is as equally as gross. Unapologetic Leyonhjelm lashes out at Turnbull and media over Hanson-Young slurs. Unapologetic, he lashes out at the Prime Minister and the media as he refused to back down from his faces over compensation he remarked to fellow Senator Sarah Hanson-Young. The week-long controversy began when the Senator told the other Senators to stop shagging men during a debate over violence against women that brought the Parliament's reputation into dispute over claims of long-running S-word shaming. I'm not saying that word. I'm sorry. I'm not bringing myself to say that word. Minister of Women Kelly O'Donnell adds her voice to the cause for Senator Leyonhjelm to apologise to Fairfax Media. People have the right to be treated with dignity and respect in the workplace. We have a 6-minute video to watch. Because we're going to do live commentary throughout it. And let's see if the video actually loads.
To violence against women, Senator Leyonhjelm yelled an offensive and sexist slur at me across the chamber. After the vote on the motion was complete, I walked over to the senator and confronted him directly. I asked whether I had heard him correctly. He confirmed that he had yelled, "You should stop shagging men, Sarah." Shocked, I told him that he was a creep. His reply was to tell me to off.
Thank you! I don't have to edit it. So this got compounded to Sky News. Oof.
Is for lack of a better word, and I really apologise for this. I'm thankful that my daughter is home in bed still and not up for school. He's slut-shaming me.
Hey.
That is what he's doing. And
I didn't say the
women
word.
right around this country know it. Men, decent men, know it. And I'm not prepared to sit here and be intimidated and bullied. It's offensive, it's inflammatory, and he has shown over and over again that he is unfit to be in the parliament.
Senator Sarah Hanson-Young has engaged lawyers ahead of a potential defamation action for you and others, we understand. Would you like to take this opportunity to withdraw those comments you made and apologise for them?
No, bring it on.
Oh my god, you're... my god, this makes me so angry. F.ku, you asinine piece of human flesh. Like, oh my god, what the... Are you human? Like, are you human in there? Like, what is going on? Like, this is... If he... Okay. It's bad enough if he said that anyway. But if he said it in the heat of a moment, it's politics. You say things that you don't want to say. Even in my limited involvement with politics, particularly student politics, can get real nasty real quick. And, like, he... Alright.
Trying to make is valid. I'm on very solid ground.
Sure you think you are.
I am opposed to misandry, just as I'm opposed to misogyny.
What? No! You're not! You literally are calling this person an S-word and saying that she should stop doing the doo-doo with men. If I'm not mistaken, she said she has children. And she is a respectable woman in the Senate. She's opposite you. Like, this is not a thing. This is not a bit. Alright, here we go. You believe you're that, but you're, again, for the third time tonight, actions speak louder than words. We continue.
And I'm also entitled to call out double standards.
Sure.
Arguing on the one hand that all men are evil, the enemy, rapists, sexual predators, and then on the other hand, having normal relationships with men obviously is contradictory, and I can call it out.
That's not what she's saying. What she was saying was that violence against women was a bad thing. So you call her an S-word. Again, I'm not saying it. If it happens in the clip, then that's not my responsibility. But because I don't like that word. But so if she's calling you an S-word, if you're calling her an S-word and saying that she's going around and sleeping with all of these men, her whole point is to talk about and discuss the violence against women Australia says no campaign. And you're saying... Oh my god.
No woman in my family would accuse all men of being sexual predators.
And neither did... Senator Sarah Hanson-Young.
Thank
certainly
you!
reproduced that quote, and she certainly denies it.
So you believe her and you're calling me a liar. Thank you very much.
No, I'm saying that you actually can't remember. You've said that you can't exactly remember what she said.
And do I have
and you've given me words to the effect that range across a number of different scenarios.
Do I have to remember every word precisely for it to be true?
Yes! Yes! That's how truth works! Oh my god! That is how the truth works! Oh my god! You know what? I'm done. 130 episodes out. Like, seriously though, like, how... Oh my god. Taking over says, yes! No! Oh my god. No, these aren't alternative facts. These are factual facts. Hi Ral, how are you? Like, oh my god. Do I have to remember every single word for it to be true? I like this new host. Well, what, the 7:30 report lady? She's good. She's a really good journalist. Taking no shit. Yeah, she's great. She MVP. She's the MVP. But the 7:30 report gets good like that. Like, they were news asterisks. Yeah, I know. News question mark. Why is the chat's playing up again and not showing mod badges? Oh well, we're broken. Yeah, this lady is taking no crap from this dude.
In order to justify a pretty strong comment, yeah, I reckon you do.
No, I reckon I don't.
Yeah, I reckon you do. No, I don't think you do. The host of Outsiders quickly apologised and suspected the producers who published the comments.
But there is a line that shouldn't be crossed. And yesterday, that line was crossed.
Yes, and both Rowan and I responded, perhaps later than would have been ideal, disassociating ourselves from the use of unverified rumour and innuendo, most especially about areas of a person's life where they should have a legitimate expectation of privacy.
Look, I think Senator Leyonhjelm's been a complete and utter dick. I think that's the only thing you can call it. He absolutely...
Yes! She's my queen!
And so, frankly, I think he should absolutely apologise.
I think he should apologise. I think it was a terrible thing that he said. It did not do him any good in terms of the dignity that he should hold as a Member of Parliament.
I've ever wondered if you've ever paused to reflect on why you sometimes have such a reflex to
hey!
get so personal and frankly bitchy when women take you on. Have you ever stopped and wondered about
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Raul Carter on the phone. How's it going?
What kind of new show is this that they just like straight up and come out like that guy is a dick?
ABC, man, like
wow.
The Australian Broadcasting Corporation is rocking it.
You usually get something like that, but like on HBO on one of the comedy channels.
No, she is like
wow.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense. There's still 3 minutes of all of this. So do you want to hang on the line while we? You can hang on the line while we listen to the rest, and we can comment on this and take it in. Probably, I was going to take it in a Me Too direction. So let's finish this clip off and enjoy the rest of this gold mine. Apparently.
that?
Oh my
The premise of your question.
Let me tell you what it's based on. It's based on the comments that you made to Senator Sarah Hanson-Young. It's made on comments that you made to an elderly woman once who criticised you, and you told her to, quote, go away and stop proving you're a bimbo. I'd say there's two examples.
I'm not pausing it. I'm not pausing it. I'm gonna let it go.
Why do you think that is?
Keep going.
Well, let me put it this way. When I am accused of something, such as being a sexual predator, along with all the other men in Australia.
I'm going to jump in there. I don't think anyone accused you of that, but go on.
Yeah, no, well, you weren't there. I was. When people, irrespective of their age, irrespective of their gender,
I'm rolling.
emails to me, and the woman who wrote that did. I feel that I'm perfectly entitled to respond.
I've seen his comments. They were seriously offensive. well beyond any so-called line in politics. Seriously offensive when he first said them. And to be honest, I'm very surprised that he hasn't had the wit just to admit that they are offensive and apologise. So every day it goes on, he adds hurt to injury. Senator Hanson's a very forthright politician. She doesn't need anyone to stand up for her in the way she does her job, but she doesn't deserve this sort of hurtful language and offensive language. Senator Leyonhjelm should just stand up and apologise, full stop. Most people in the street actually think what you said was seriously offensive. Most people actually think that what you said was stupid. Most people would expect you to apologise.
Yeah.
David Leyonhjelm's offensive remarks should have been withdrawn the moment they were uttered, and he should have apologised.
Oof. Okay.
And it's not too late for him to withdraw
So
and apologise.
is that a news anchor saying that, or someone from his own party?
So this, okay, we have paused it for clarification. So the previous person that you heard was the opposition leader. So from the left side of the aisle, yeah, from the left, commenting on that. He's actually from the right, this senator, and this is the Prime Minister, who is also a Conservative, saying this current comment. So, both sides of the aisle are saying, you're a dumbass, sunshine. So, alright, we got 30 seconds left. Let's finish this off.
Has no place in Parliament, and it shouldn't have a place in any workplace. We have to treat each other with respect. We must do that, and respect for women is, in particular, is one of the highest priorities that we should be focused on. I've never heard language like that before in the chamber.
Oof. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've strapped ourselves in for a 2-hour show.
That has never heard language like that does not exist.
Well, no, inside the political chamber.
Okay, inside the political chamber where, that kind of language, no.
Is totally not acceptable. Okay, so I want to say...
came out...
Sorry, I want to say one thing...
an S-word, right?
I want to say one thing first. I want to say one thing first. I know we're laughing. We're not laughing at the subject matter. We're laughing at the amazing news presenter and telling the honest truth about this blank of a man. I just want to clarify that for everyone at home, just in case they think we're laughing at the content. We're not. We're laughing at the amazing news presenter. We're laughing because it's true what she's saying, right? Whoop.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm still here.
Okay, no, I just wanted to clarify that.
I came in at the tail end of that. So this senator who's on the left called another senator who's on the right the S-word.
No, opposite way around. So the Conservative senator called the more left senator, saying that she was mentioning about how violence against... They were talking about the Violence Against Women Australia Says No campaign, and how they can try and... Because it's a government-run campaign, how they can try and readjust it and try and make it, basically they were doing a review of it and how important it is and how they can reach more people. And basically the response from the Conservative male senator to this left-leaning female senator was, you should stop shagging men. You're such an S-word.
Right in the middle of Parliament.
Right in the middle of Parliament. Right in the middle of Senate deliberations. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot to unpack here, my friend.
On camera and all that, right?
On camera, on the record. The poor transcriber had to write that as they do, like they kind of that blank. And it's basically, essentially, he told her to blank off with an F.
He told her.
He told her. Oh well, no. Yeah, he essentially told her to blank off. Yeah. So, oh boy. So there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack here. So that's essentially the story.
Oh boy, and everyone is calling him out on his shit.
Yep.
Left, right, and I'm guessing, as you said, the Prime Minister is conservative, and even he's calling him out.
Right. And even he's calling him out on his comments. Now, first of all, I think we found the new host of the Generic Live show. I'm just saying. I'm happy to be replaced by her. By that news anchor. Basically saying what was his response to that? Like, oh, does every word of it have to be true? Yeah, I reckon so.
Do I have to recollect every word of something for it to be true? Yes!
That's the point. I reckon you do. Like, she's just great. I want her on the show 5 seconds ago. So,
oh my god, she's like... And then when they have the panel of hosts, it's like, he's being a dick.
Right? Like, that's
so
just...
is Australian language a little bit less than it is here in the States?
Oh yeah, and you could ask the boats this too. Like, it is, we don't mess around with we don't hold anything back. Like, we were watching a reality TV show on a major network, like a I don't know what even to compare it to. Like what's a major television network over there that shows reality television?
Over here we have CBS, NBC.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like a CBS reality show, and they dropped the F-bomb once and the S-bomb 3 times and didn't bleep it. So
stuff.
Oops, sorry. You blanked out there for a sec. What was up? Oof.
Day.
Hang on.
In
Ooh, my internet is getting real choppy. Say that all again.
Okay. All right. It was mostly in the daytime, right? Like prime time.
No, yeah, this was prime nighttime. This was 7:30 at night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, usually they don't start dropping the hard curse words until 8 or 9.
Yeah, they
mostly around 9 or 10 where you get your really saucy stuff.
Right, and then
then anything past midnight, it's yeah,
boobies. But no, that news
not so much. They still edit them.
Boobies with stars on them.
Yeah, but Australia, from the stuff we get from Australia, it seems like it's very conservative.
Yeah, the port stuff, the stuff that gets ported over to you guys is very washed down.
Yeah, because I know Australia is one of the toughest places to get games in.
Oh yeah. Oh
because of violence. So they're okay with curse words with language, but they're not okay with violence.
Yeah, that's where we draw our line. You can drop S-bombs and F-bombs at 7:30 at night on a news asterisk show, and then don't worry about it. But as soon as you put violence in it, they had to. Excuse me. It's a Christmas miracle that Deadpool got released here, to be honest.
Oh.
It's that bad. We only go up to 15 plus. I don't even think an R rating is such a thing out here. Yeah, I don't think R ratings are a thing here. But anyway, so this is terrible. This is a terrible news story. This is not good at all. There's no need for this behavior, right?
No. Zero. I mean, it's okay for you to have a misunderstanding with a fellow colleague, and they are colleagues. They are working for the betterment of the country if you're in Parliament.
Right.
And if I remember correct, Parliament seats, well, I'm just basing off the UK, but they go to the party, right? And the party puts who they want in there, right?
Kind of. The majority, we still vote on seats. People, for districts and stuff, they get voted. But the party with the most votes, their leader heads the party. So we're voting for the party in the seats, not necessarily the leader itself.
Oh, okay.
So it's whoever forms a majority, the leader of that party is now the prime minister.
We've got to do a special on, like, Dale explains Australian politics, like how the voting process goes.
Oh, I would love to do that, particularly with you or Rhino or someone, so we can bounce back and forward. I'm all down for that. Like I am all for that. Like I would love to do a special on how that and the school system. I really want to dig deep into the differences between Australian school districts and American school districts.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
I can. Yeah, I know we're getting off topic here, but
yeah.
we'll put a pin in. We'll put a pin in that one.
Put a pin in that one. But yeah, I agree. Like, you have disagreements with coworkers all the time. I've had disagreements with coworkers that a year later we're still sorting out because hey, distract me. But you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, and then because it's very
like I've seen video of Parliament where it's like it's almost a madhouse, but people still get stuff done.
Right, and then how we have to say Mr. Speaker every 4 minutes because the most important person in Parliament is the whoever allows people to talk, because that's how that works.
Because if I remember, it's the man-at-arms supposed to keep everyone calm, right?
Right.
Because he's supposed to be the one that's like, shut up, it's not your turn to talk, it's this person.
Right. Yeah, and then you can't clap or do anything. That's why they say "hear, hear" every 5 seconds. Because that's their sign of agreement and acknowledgement is "hear, hear," which is hilarious. I love that. Now this senator the most complicated surname in the history of surnames, responded.
David L.
Little L. Responded to the Prime Minister, right? And his comments. Do you want to know what he said? This is great.
Yes.
Called him a P word and a soft C word for failing to speak about misandry as well as misogyny, and accused journalists of groupthink on sexism.
Now, this is the guy that said the S word to the female. Oh my god.
Yeah, he is.
At this point, I mean, he's done.
He is done. His political career is over. It's done for. But like, this is probably one of the biggest outside of the political baby. Outside of that, I think this has got to be the biggest Me Too related kind of thing in Australian politics, because like it's so public and it's so in your face, and we can kind of. I'm having one of these thoughts where I don't know whether I should say it or not, and I'm gonna get hate mail for, but I'm gonna say it anyway. In politics, you can't really separate the art from the artist, because the art comes from the policies that is being constructed by the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And like again, it's actors and like everyone who does terrible things to women should have done to them, but 10 times worse. But again, there's the phrase separating the art from the artist. But again, you can't do that because politics is the art, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh man. Yeah, it's something he should have just kept to himself. And I don't know, he was not thinking when he spoke. I mean,
right.
Was he just... Yes, you can get anger. You don't have to be on the same page with, like I said, with your colleagues. Your number one goal is the betterment of the country.
Right.
Attacking your fellow colleagues that is trying to help you is not a way to go.
Absolutely not. And that is...
It's just that, I mean... I don't know. I mean, it's just like,
it's a hard one.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick
to anyone.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that's the number one.
Number one geeko rule. Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick to anyone. Like, and that's. I don't understand. You can hang on the
policy were they fighting over?
They weren't really. Yeah. Go on.
About the funds for protecting women, right? The
Right.
sexual harassment of women program.
Right.
To help prevent it, that she was for it, and I guess he didn't want to spend money on it, right?
Yeah, and he should because apparently it's her fault that this program exists. Like, I don't know. I don't think he was. I think this is his first and last ever term anywhere. To be honest, because that's a thing that you can't avoid anytime soon. So, but my final words on it is I hope this guy gets everything coming to him. Let's be real. All right. Well, Ral, you can stay on for the rest of the show if you want. I've got one more quick news story to head into before we go into the post show. But thank you for joining me for that amazing news story. Like, that's always
No
have to get your
problem.
opinion.
I'm like, I tuned in just to like catch the tail end of that, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right.
Alright.
Well, I'll see you later in the post show. See
In the
what we
post
do.
show, yeah, have fun. Thank you, Ral Castle, everyone, joining me live on the phone. All right, we have one more quick news story because that went really long. Hi, iCorpse EYT, fellow Australian, joining us. Welcome. It's early Monday morning. I am aware. Why not? MMBR 2001 politics should primarily be better to. Primarily to better the country. I agree. I'm doing well. It's Monday. I'm doing well. Your own one. Yeah. You benefit our country and the countries around us, particularly as well, because we're a global society. But if we can't fix our politics first, what's the point of going international? And I think definitely we need to fix that one. Quick news story before we head out of here and kick it to the post show. The Google.org has come into to Australia with their Impact Challenge 2018, backing our forward thinkers. Every year, local not-for-profits and societal enterprises change the lives of people across Australia that go above and beyond in technology. The Google.org Impact Challenges is designed to help them on their way. If your organization is changed through technology, then we're behind you, even though it's already voting has already happened. Let's check out the Hall of Fame. So Professor Fred Hallows, creating mobile technology to check the blindness caused by diabetes. The Great Barrier Matthew Dubin from QUT, the Great Barrier Reef Foundation, a low-cost and autonomous robot, to protect coral reef ecosystems. Chris Ray, Hello Sunday Morning, personalized app to change relationship with alcohol. William Tans, Centre for Eye Research. Jack Manning Bancroft, Australian Indigenous Monitoring Experience. David Springs from Info Rocks Change, creating mobile technology to improve food, shelter, health, and other aspects of people's lives. So this is a fantastic kind of system. Our organizations apply. Our judges select 3 winners, public votes, and the People's Choice Award is announced. Winners received $1 million. $1 million in support from Google. 6 runner-ups will receive $250,000 in support of funding. with funding in support. Alrighty. Well, see, good things can come from Australia too, you know. Good things can come from Australia too. I'm not answering that question because I'm doing a show, and that's not what the show's about. Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's nearly it for the Jack Live show. Could you believe that was 2 hours already? That went super quick. That went super quick. We are queuing up music because I didn't prepare anything before the show. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what did we learn today? We learned that I need to find out who that news anchor is and seriously get her on the show, because why not? Because she's a blast. I also learned that Google is helping tech startups, not-for-profit tech startups in Australia, by giving them $1 million. We also learned that basketball is a very violent sport, and how you shouldn't convict. You shouldn't impose violence on other people in a sport, no matter what the situation. You certainly shouldn't allow basketball officials to beat up Australian players. We learned how the Australian recycling system actually works. We also learned that China is taking our rubbish from us, and that's not going to happen. We also learned that cigarette packets are under review, and that's all you need to know. And they haven't been changed for 5 years, so we need to change them. We also learned that Australia is abandoning multi-corporate banks and going independent because their people don't want to be associated with drug money. That's essentially what it is. We took you on an adventure back to 2011 in music. We also learned that former carpenter turned cricket captain turned back into a carpenter after a ball tampering scandal is back at cricket. Surprise! He actually did really well despite dropping a catch. You know, why not? And we also launched the one-time special of Accidental Comedian Making Coffee. One time only. You can check out the show live Sundays at 5:30 PM Eastern over at twitch.tv/GeekIO show. And you can check us out on all your favorite social media /GeekIO show. You can find me personally at the Dale Campbell. That's TheDaleCampbell. You can do that. Do that. I'm out on Twitter and Instagram. You can check me out there. I post periodically. I'm not a huge Twitterer or a huge Instagrammer, but I post occasionally. You can find us, you can keep the conversation alive once we go offline over on our Discord at geek-io.net/Discord, and you can support everything that we do here on the Geek.io network over at patreon.com/geek.io. That's going to do it for me. I am Dale Campbell, and we'll see you all next time for another episode. Oh, by the way, again, show not happening in this time slot next Sunday. It is happening instead. It's happening instead on Tuesday, the 17th at 9 PM Eastern over at twitch.tv/geekio show. Tune in then, where we'll have something. I don't know what we're doing. That's the beauty of this show. Bye. My name is Florida.
for George's QK Media Network production. Copyright 2018. You see how that works?
Yeah.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.